Let's look at Bitcoin, US markets, what's going on with the economy. Basically, the banking system is becoming nationalized. What does that mean? Well, you figure FDIC and Fed is forcing all these mergers and taking on a whole lot of debt, right? But if you look at it, basically, look at the top banks in the US. And according to this, the top 15 banks control 75% of the deposits in the US. Banks overall from the 1920s went from 31,000 banks in the US to 4,100 banks today. So basically, the bigger banks are being incentivized to swallow up the smaller banks. And you know the Fed has very close ties with all these big boys. In fact, the Fed bailed all of them out in 2008. Had they not done that, even the big boys would be gone, right? So, bottom line is, this is another case why we need to turn to Bitcoin. Okay, you're getting a smaller number of banks. You could call them the elites that hold everyone's money, but can you really trust them? Right? Can you really trust them to look out for you, the little guy? I would say no. They're looking out for themselves, looking out for their bottom line. Okay? And when they screwed up, you know what? They have Big Brother, the Fed, to bail them out. But you know what? The Fed and what they're doing with their money printing and their loaning, that's coming out of your pocket. Okay? Coming out of your pocket, not theirs. So, it's not a good situation. That's why, people are turning to Bitcoin. This is exactly why Bitcoin was created. So here's an interesting story, and I can relate to this story. I don't know who this person is, but it sounds pretty legit. Basically, he was denied by JP Morgan Chase. He's just trying to send a $60,000 wire, which is a large amount, I get. But, whenever you want to send any amount like this with your bank, you get questioned left and right. Okay, and there's so many loopholes. It's just like it gets to a ridiculous point. So first they ask you, well, where is it going to? Well, then you have to verify it's a business account, but they're like, but it's not in your name. Well, yeah, okay, but I'm telling you it's my business account, right? But you're setting it from a computer I don't recognize. Well, I'm telling you it's me, but no, we can't do it, right? It goes back and forth. And then they also ask you, why are you sending it? They're asking a whole bunch of questions. It makes you wonder, do they really need to know all that? Because if you're sending 60,000 with Bitcoin, no one questions you, right? Warren Davidson from Ohio, even he responded to that tweet and said Bitcoin fixes this. In order to keep spying on American citizens on every transaction, authoritarians want to make all the money accounts based where a third party, they can control filters your transactions. Permissionless peer-to-peer transactions are essential component to sound money. Basically, he's arguing, yes, you have Bitcoin, you don't have this kind of problem. And then he also goes on and says CBDCs are basically evil. Evil. Basically, central banks want even more information from its citizens. And I've said this too. CBDCs are not to be trusted. Okay, it's a way for governments to track you even more so than they do now with cash. So, even Congress people are starting to develop laser eyes. There's a lot of people now really starting to see that, yeah, Bitcoin is the way. There are actually some banks that recognize, well, maybe we need to get in. Maybe we shouldn't wait until we collapse. So you have digital bank Revolt, I think that's how you say it, that's offering crypto investments in Brazil, but they're not the only ones. I've covered stories about other banks that's getting involved, even MasterCard getting involved, Visa getting involved, right? Everyone is getting involved. These guys all know you don't want to wait until last minute to transit or you will be dead, left in the water. So Bitcoin, the fundamentals, never been better. Hash rate has jumped up, the largest 5-day increase ever in Bitcoin's history. Just think about that. The miners are pressing away. Addresses continue to go up. And the fundamentals, again, have never been better. And everything I've been covering about what's going on with inflation, with the Fed, with banks, with KYC and all that, right? That is the reason why more and more people are turning to Bitcoin. And this is where we are in our current cycle. We are definitely recovering and waiting for the new cycle top. That will be probably be arriving in 2025-ish. So, but we're getting closer and closer. Is the U.S. going to default? That would be absolutely catastrophic if it happens. So most likely not. But in order to raise the debt ceiling, there has to be agreement. Congress has to approve. And then, well, the Fed gets to turn up their money printing machine once again and print some more money so that the government can continue to operate. So we have this going on also. Not immediate threat, but you know what? It's coming up. June is right around the corner. So it's not like something we could put off. Although this was talked about in December, and I said most likely no one's going to pay attention until the the month beforehand. And I was right, because we had like 6 months that this could have been debated over, but no, it's being debated now, like last minute. Once again, not unusual, but that's just how the U.S. Congress is looking bad. There's a 6.5% chance now that Fed Chair Powell is not going to be raising rates. Now it's a crazy 93.5% chance we will get another 25 basis points. This is despite the fact we had the second largest bank seizure, First Republic Bank, okay? And this is coming off of the third largest and the fourth largest. We had 3 major banks go under due to rates, yet Powell's expected to continue to raise rates to fight inflation. See, everything that's being done is counterintuitive. Even though he's raising rates to fight inflation, you know what's adding to inflation? Well, the debt and debt ceiling. If you print another $2 trillion, yeah, that's going to make inflation go up. So you have a lot of things working that are counterintuitive to each other. And obviously rates also affect businesses. That's why businesses are starting to lay off people, right? But yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on right now. That's why it's kind of fearful. But tomorrow we will get that big FOMC press conference once again. We always have a good time with those press conferences. I'll live stream it for you guys. But yeah, we have this to look forward to tomorrow. Any surprises out of Powell? Right, I'm sure he's going to have to address First Republic Bank. Last time we had it, he had to address SV Bank that went under. And he's like, oh, we're going to wait and see. Well, now he's going to be addressing First Republic too. So one after another, we got big banks falling one after another. So not good.